Dear students, we have come to the last module of this subject that we are going to learn about bailment. Bailment is a day-to-day activity. We do it many times, but this is the first time we are going to connect with the Contract Act. So this is coming as a special act, and in this module we are going to see what is the importance of this bailment and what is the legal connection with the Contract Act. Now, bailment, the term means to deliver. If you are going out of station, if you have a pet at home, if the pet is friendly with the neighbor, we will tell that for a few days, you keep the pet with in your house. They are also no objection for that, we can do that. Or take care of our plants, or take care of our aquarium. This is delivering, and somebody is helping that. Other examples, when you're giving our car for servicing, you're giving something for stitching, you're giving your clothes for dry cleaning, washing, all this. These are all bailment. So this is connected with our day-to-day life. So examples, dry cleaning, vehicle servicing, everything. Then person who delivers the goods is the bailer. See, for example, if I'm giving my pet to the pet shop, then I am the bailer. The person who receives the good is called the bailee. That meaning the pet shop, they are the bailee. So bailer is there and bailee is there. Now, definition of bailment. Section 148 of the Indian Contract Act defines bailment as a bailment is the delivery of goods by one person to another for some purpose upon a contract that they shall, when the purpose is accomplished, be returned or otherwise disposed of according to the directions of the person delivering them. So this is the definition of bailment. Bailment is lengthy, but we will see the details. Now, essentials of contract of bailment. What are the essentials? Now, there should be a valid contract. See, if you are giving something valuable, there should be a valid contract for that. Now, temporary delivery of goods. That meaning, for time being, we are giving that. If the pets for custody, plants for custody, aquarium for custody, car for custody, temporary delivery. That means when we return or when we are back from our whatever the purpose we have delivered the item, we will get back the item. It's only temporary. It's not permanent. Now, return of specific goods. So after the bailment period is over, see, maybe it's for one day or few weeks or few days, we will get back the item. Now, there is an express or implied agreement. See, express agreement, you have to remember, it will be written. There will be insurance contract. When you're buying an apartment, everything, express contract will be there. All terms and conditions will be mentioned. Or when you're giving your gold ornaments to a bank locker, all conditions will be there. Express bailment. Implied bailment, it's understood from the behavior of the parties. Implied bailment. So that meaning, see, when I'm giving it to a neighbor's house, my pet for safe custody, there will not be a written agreement, but it's an implied agreement will be there. When I'll come back, I'll take back the pet. Till when my absence, they will take care of my dog or my pet. So goods should be delivered to the bailee. So that is very important. We have to hand over the item to the bailee. Now, essentials of a contract of bailment. One is ownership remains with the bailer and not transferred to the bailee. We are not transferring the ownership. We have to remember it's only temporary custody. Now, bailment is only for movable goods and not for immovable goods. Clothes, pets, aquarium, plants, anything like that. We cannot give land for bailment because it's immovable, or furniture. There should be a purpose for delivery of goods. There should be a purpose. You are out of station. You need that special protection for few days. You want somebody to take care of that for few days. So that is the purpose. Some purpose should be there. Or you want to get your car serviced, or you want to give your clothes for dry cleaning. Now, bail goods like raw materials, if it's converted into finished product also, still the contract of bailment remains. Next is, goods shall be returned to the bailer after the same purpose. Whatever the purpose you have given, bailee is entrusted with the responsibility. When the bailer will ask for that, the bailee has to return the goods. Now, types of bailment, there are two types of bailment. One is gratuitous bailment and non-gratuitous bailment. The difference is that in the first category, without consideration. It's just based on friendship, family, contacts, you are doing that. Second one is with consideration. So gratuitous bailment is divided into two. One is bailment for the exclusive benefit of the bailer. That meaning if you're giving your pets for safe custody when you're going out of station. So that is No benefit, no consideration. You're giving it to your neighbor's house or friend's house or family member's house or grandparents' house. So that is without any consideration. Next is bailment for the exclusive benefit of the bailee. So that meaning lending books for examination without any charge. So that is bailment. Both the cases consideration is not involved. Next is non-gratuitous bailment, meaning consideration is there. So that is dry cleaning, clothes for stitching, car servicing, all this. Amount you have to pay, whatever their fees or laundry service. If you're giving your clothes for laundry, it's bailment, but there is consideration. You have to make the payment. Now, duties of bailer, duty to disclose known facts. See, when I'm giving my pet for safe custody, I have to disclose whether it's dangerous, they are allergic to something, all this. Duty to provide clear instructions. That is, what is the feed they are expecting, what is the feeding time, is they allergic to some medicine or anything like that, we have to give clear instructions. Duty to pay necessary expenses. Whatever, if the pet has fallen sick, they have to call the veterinary doctor, and it's an extra expense the bailer has to pay. Now, duty to indemnify the bailee. Anything, special precaution if he has to take to protect that item, then that special payment the bailer has to make to the bailee. Next is duty to allow inspection. If bailee is asking for inspection, see, some dogs are dangerous, so they will bailee the shelter home, they will tell that we want to come and see the dog. So that meaning bailer has to allow inspection. Now, duty to bear extraordinary expenses. If the dog has become fallen sick and that more expenses has to be provided. See, not the ordinary veterinary doctor, some surgery has to be performed. Any extraordinary expense, bailer has to meet that. Duty to take back the goods. Once the purpose is served, bailer, when he's in a position to take back the item, he has to do that. Now, duty to compensate for premature termination. If the bailment is ended before the termination of the contract, premature, if you're coming back and whatever the time you have, if you mention that 5 days, I'm giving the bailment for 5 days, but you're back in 2 days, then you're premature closure. So if they're not ready to pay back the money that you have to, it's a bailer's loss only. He cannot claim that from the bailee. So that duty to compensate for premature termination. See, sometimes shelter homes and all, if they're telling that 5 days, they will collect that amount in advance. So when you are closing it after 2 days, you cannot claim back the item. Now, rights of bailer. If he has duties, he has rights also to compel the performance of the bailee. If I'm giving my pet for shelter home, it's their duty to take proper care. Now, sue for damages. If something, their negligence, the pet has suffered a loss, or if I suffered a loss, anything like that, I can claim for damages. Now, to recover damages. So, anything extraordinary they are claiming, they are making false representation, or they are making false claims and claiming money, then we can claim that. We can recollect that from the bailee. Now, demand return of goods. If bailee is not ready to return the goods, we have every right to do that. Next is rights of bailee. Right of possession. When bailee is getting the item, he has the right to keep that item. Then right of compensation for expenses. So any extra expense he has incurred, he has the right to compensate from the bailer. Right to claim compensation for damages. Any damage caused. If the dog has attacked other 2 dogs in the shelter home and they are claiming damages, it is the duty of the bailer to give the damage. Now, right of lien. Till the payment is made to the bailee, if bailer is not ready to make the payment, bailee has the right to keep that item till he will get the payment or damages or fees or whatever the charges. Next is right to recover compensation for fault of bailer. If bailer has not given the clear instruction, bailee suffered a loss. The bailee has the right to get the compensation from the bailer. Now, duties of bailee. If he has certain rights, he has certain duties also. Duty to take reasonable care. That meaning, whenever the item is given in his custody, it is his duty to take reasonable care. Now, duty to return the goods. Once bailer is asking for the item, he has to return that. Duty to render accounts. Whatever accounts he has to maintain. If it's for a longer period, especially whatever expenses he has covered, what are the day-to-day activities, they can keep a clear account to the bailer. Now, duty not to mix goods. See, if the bailee is also having the same business or the raw materials that bailer is giving for custody, he cannot mix the items of bailer and bailee. It should be separate and distinct. Now, duty not to make unauthorized use. See, if I am giving my car as for bailment to my friends, or friend is asking my car when I am out of station, he cannot use that for taking drugs or selling drugs or for any antisocial activities, which is against the Indian Penal Code. If I have given it only for their personal use, they can use only for the personal use with my knowledge and my information and with my permission. They cannot use for any unauthorized use. They will be held responsible for that. Now, duty to compensate for loss. If they have taken my car and have suffered met with an accident, the damage they have to repair and they have to return the item, car. That is duty not to deny bailer's title. If I am giving my car, they cannot claim that as their car and they cannot use it for any unauthorized use. Always we have to remember the ownership remains with the bailer. We are not transferring the ownership. It's only the bailment. Now, termination of bailment. This is the last topic from this module. That is how the bailment can be terminated. How the bailment will come to an end. That is after specific period. See, if I'm giving my car for bailment for 5 days. After 5 days, the bailment is over. Or after the specific purpose. I'm giving the car for servicing. After servicing it's done, its specific purpose is over, bailment is over. Now, bailee is not acting as per the terms of the bailment, then bailment is terminated automatically. If I'm giving the car for servicing, they're claiming that they will have major damages. They want to repair. They want to keep it for longer, few more days. But they are using to run as taxi. That is unauthorized use. Bailment will come to and automatically will come to an end. No consideration bailment is terminated by the death of the bailer or bailee. No consideration. This is just based on personal contacts, family, friends, relatives we are doing. So death of the bailer or bailee, the bailment will come to an end. No consideration bailment can be terminated by the bailer anytime after giving proper notice. So if I'm giving the car, especially when we are giving the vehicle, if we come to know that you rash driving, they may create accidents. So that meaning I can give proper notice, I am taking back my car and I can take that, the termination, the bailment will come to an end. So this is what I wanted to explain in this module. This is about bailment and I have covered the complete syllabus through different modules. So it's easy for your exam from your examination point of view, and I request you to refer the modules, see the videos and give me a valuable feedback. That improvement, then I can improve on my videos and I can share my knowledge with others. So that is what I'm looking for. Thank you. Happy learning.